in front of a live YouTube audience from private studios around Pennsylvania, with hosts Rick Gonzalez of Allentown Cop Block, Scott Marshall of the Oath Accountability Project, and Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block. This is Cop Blast Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cop Blast Podcast. This is Matt Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
I'm Scott Marshall of the Oath Accountability Project.
Rick Gonzalez, Allentown Cop Block. What's up, guys?
How you guys doing this week?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. How you guys doing?
It's
not too bad.
Week. Got a big move coming up. This is actually going to be my last broadcast from this studio. Going to be hopefully back and ready to go for next week. Brand new studio, brand new location. Hopefully everything's up and running by then.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. So, you guys had any interactions with police this week?
I had actually a pretty interesting interaction earlier. I'm on my lunch break at my day job, and I'm coming back down the road, and there's two cops coming opposite to me, and I see them both turn on their lights right in front of me, and one pulls in front of me, and one pulls behind me, and I'm like, am I being blocked in? What the hell? Like, did I rob a bank? Am I sleepwalking? What the hell happened? But no, they were just turning around, and they ended up turning around and pulling in the oncoming traffic to go make somebody that was sitting at a stoplight pull off in this little gravel lot. So I turned into the parking lot, got out with my camera, and proceeded to cross the street. Well, before I could get to the other side of the street, the cops looked at each other, said a few things I don't know, I was too far away to hear, looked down at the car and said something to the driver, and then they jumped in their cars and pulled out by the time I got to the other side of the street. That's how quick it happened. I didn't even get it on video. Like, they were going to pull somebody over, and then they saw me and were like, oh, shit. You get a warning. You get a warning. Have a good day.
Wow, that's crazy. So, basically, to pull this person over, it was so important that they felt they needed to cut you off?
Oh, yeah. They cut me off, and then they went back into oncoming traffic. I mean, it was an ordeal. Like, I'm doing like 35 miles an hour, and these cops just flip on their lights and pull in front of me. Like, I hit the brakes pretty good. Like, and all that for them to just, peel out real quick when I come to approach. So
that's crazy.
I'm not sure. I can't say for sure what happened, but to what it looked like to me is this guy got a break today because these cops didn't want to be filmed. They didn't want an interaction, so
yeah,
that's what it seemed like to me.
Well, what about you, Rick? Did you have any interactions with cops?
Not really. It's been pretty quiet lately. Not since the last time I was riding with Sev. It's been pretty quiet. I haven't run into any of them yet. Pretty much avoiding me as well. Yeah.
Go
ahead.
That's not a bad thing.
So you were so the last time that you interacted with cops was when it was you and Severin Freeman of Lehigh Valley Cop Block the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Scott said, that can't be considered bad, and it can't, when you don't see them, I mean, yeah, they're still out there doing stuff, but at least at the same time, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ended up streaming live recently on Facebook on a traffic stop, Matt. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so actually, me and Scott had just finished up going to lunch. We're driving back to my place, and we see lights flashing down the street from my house. And we decided, why the hell not? Let's go ahead and go check that out. Scott, do you actually have that video?
Yeah, I got a video here. Is what I can actually do is I can pop on the. We got this new technology that we're using. It's a 360-degree camera, and I can basically give you guys the gist of how it'll how everything works. So just give me Give me 2 seconds to start the screen share.
Yeah, to anybody, if I don't know if this is. Oh, okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna fisheye us. Okay.
No, this is the 360 video. So we got Matt there, and here's the cop. Here's our guy.
Now, yes, everybody. I know we tell everyone to hold your camera a certain way. Now, I was live streaming. You can only live stream facing your camera one way. So that's the only reason why that was sitting there like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when we walked up, this police officer already had this man's jar of marijuana. He had already been stolen from. So, and I mean, as you can tell, the
I love your face here.
the sadness on our faces.
Yeah, we're both like, no. What's your shirt say there, Scott?
It says Donald Trump is a hoof-wanking bungle cunt.
I love it.
So,
Too bad we can't see what the hat says.
it says make Donald Trump again.
That's
From the popular John Oliver thing that he did about a month or so ago. But
all right, let's watch.
And see him. Oh, look. Oh, now he notices us and says, "Oh man, hey, you want to step over here for a second?" He's like, "Hey, these guys are gonna film you. They can do that. So this is what's gonna happen." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, they're cool. I don't care."
Yeah.
How you doing? Harvey County Cop Block, just making sure your rights are followed.
And you hear that? I told him that we were there just making sure his rights weren't violated. And what does he say back? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And this guy had a nice little Acura there. And I do have a tripod for this, I just didn't have it with me, so I figured setting it on the ground would be preferable than in my shaky hand. Hey, our one viewer, most likely but yeah, all was well. You know, the cop didn't really. The cop, tells him that he's gonna get something in the mail, and starts asking him questions, and the guy's like, "No, man, I don't do drugs like that. I only smoke weed."
There was even a point where somebody was walking by and their dog's
There it is.
right there.
I just wanted to get that.
Dog was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And at the end here, I don't know if you're able to show it, but when the officer is getting back in his car here, he stops and he looks at us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 70 degrees out, and he says, "It's a little hot for you, isn't it?" Like, what is that supposed to mean?
Like, don't be.
Now, if you've noticed, he's flustered enough that he got into his car without getting his cover and putting it back on his head and making sure it was there.
I'm trying to.
Almost broke.
It would have been so funny if he drove with his hat still on the damn dashboard.
I was waiting for it, and I love it too because at one point it was there. You could barely hear it there on my live stream on Carbon County Cop Block. You can see it a little bit better, but he stops and he looks at us and goes, "Are you guys all right?" And Scott's like, "Yeah, we're fine." And I look at him like, "Are you all right?" Like, like, why are you asking us questions? Are you okay? Are you sure you're gonna make it through? So that was our interaction.
It's funny that it's funny that like, are you all right? Like he's asking. He's just trying to conjure up an interaction. I mean, it was a nice day. We saw him, and we had new equipment, so let's film it. And yeah, that's over at Oath Accountability Project. You can actually see that that video both on Facebook and on YouTube in the 360 layout. Look for more videos like that. Getting more accessories soon, like a little selfie stick. Not use it for selfie. Hold it out for better view.
Yeah. So Hey Scott, I don't know what's going on over there with your feed. You're kind of cutting in and out again, like you were last week. Do you want to maybe lower your quality a little bit?
Oh, he froze
I don't
completely.
know what's.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
He's getting there.
Yeah, Scott's in and out. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our next story, which comes out of Chicago. And the Chicago police released a video of a cop standing on the neck of a suspect who died during the arrest. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to stream the video because I don't know if Scott's with us or not. Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. Do you have the video up for that story out of Chicago?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
So why don't we go ahead and give that a spin, and we will
All
have
right.
a little discussion afterwards.
Mike, the Godinez family and several media outlets have been fighting the city to release this video for months. Tonight, after watching it for the first time, Godin angry at its police department.
The police should be ashamed of themselves. They go so many years to school for this. They treated my brother worse than an animal. My brother was hiding. My brother was scared.
Janet Godinez reacts shortly
Scott, do you want to send me the link to
after
this
seeing
video
the
real
video
quick?
of her younger brother, Heriberto Godinez.
Yeah, sorry about my internet issues.
It's okay.
What's going on, Bunny Boots? I see you in the room watching.
Yeah,
The
you asked
the
a
the
question,
videos
Boots, but
the video is at the bottom of the article. I don't know if you have it open or not, but I can.
not on my screen. If you can just send me a real quick link to it on the chat, I'll open it up over here and play the video. I'm so used to having this pooty internet connection that actually having one that can handle doing both of these at the same time is new to me. Okay. Let's find that video. So Scott, you want to read a little bit about the article real quick while I set this up?
They thought he was a burglary suspect, and they grabbed him, and he was wrestling around a little bit, but backup got there and they subdued him, and the video shows a cop, just stepping on his head and his neck. Said that in his system, but did not name them as causes of death. The article is really unclear on what the cause of death was, but the video was enough for the family to file a lawsuit, and the officers have been taken off of street duty and got nice cushy desk jobs. So,
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, pending an investigation. Whatever that means. I mean, we all know what that means ourselves. So
Okay, let's go ahead and get back to where we were.
I got no audio from you, Matt.
Can you hear that?
No. The woman is very upset, and she seems like she's making some really good points. They treated him like an animal. They said they go to so many years of school for this.
It is caught on dash cam.
Yeah, sound.
I hear it real low though.
Yeah.
So you see him stepping on the neck right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is right there, stepping on his head and his neck.
Isn't he handcuffed at this point
Yep.
already?
Absolutely was.
You know, I just don't understand. Once somebody's handcuffed, they're no longer a threat.
For accountability. And today, he placed the two officers involved on administrative duty pending.
Yeah,
Administrative duty.
a fucking paid vacation.
Well, it wasn't leave, it was administrative duty, so they're still going to work, just not in the same capacity.
He's pending the outcome of a first thorough investigation.
Thorough investigation.
Thorough investigation.
Bullshit.
Has advanced in its investigation and the plaintiff no longer objects to
We all know how this is gonna turn out.
policy that increases transparency while also protecting the integrity of ongoing investigation.
How can you have
The
transparency?
integrity of the investigation.
His family attorney Jeff Granick says the family is outraged by the city's handling.
Yeah, the family's outraged.
To release a video to the media before the family gets this video, deal with it, process it.
Closure would be like those counsel behind bars. That's nobody is a slap on the hand. They need to be behind bars.
I agree. They do. These officers do need to be behind bars.
Yep.
So, transparency. Now, I mean, in my mind, you know, if you have transparency, you're not hiding part of your investigation. So, if you're not transparent, you're still guarded. Like, how can you sit there and tell people that you want to have, you know, more transparency and more accountability, but then you don't really hold the officers accountable? You still let them go to work, have them investigated by their friends, and then at the end of the day, go, well, we're going to let you guys know about what's going on our time schedule, so don't worry about it. That's just the same old cop bullshit, just with fancy lingo attached to it.
Yeah, basically.
It's like a fucking broken record player, man. I hear them say that shit all the time.
Right? So,
It's like for like 30 years straight already. I'm fed up with it.
so I'm assuming you guys probably couldn't hear most of that video.
I heard it real low.
Yeah, it was really low. That's why I was trying to kind of reiterate what was happening, what was being said, for the viewers that may not have the best audio situations. But
I
let's
think I might be able to fix that.
Well, we can roll into our next story here, which I think is a good qualifier for douchebag of the week.
Oh, I don't have him with me. Unfortunately, Tom Cruise has been packed up.
Yep.
So we'll still do the douchebag. We'll use Batman. Douchebag of the week.
Yep. Let's try this video again and see if we can't get some better results here.
You think you're funny? Smile in my face one more time, I'll be dragging your ass off and busting back to that fucking Don't smile one more time.
All right. He said that he was going to take a child to the back of his fucking police car if he smiled one more time. This is a child on a school bus.
And you
Now
look around. Play that again real quick. Full screen that and play that again.
Unfortunately, it refuses to full screen, but I'll play it one more time.
Okay.
You think you're funny? Smile in my face one more time, I'll be dragging your ass off and busting back to that fucking Don't smile one more time.
Now I'm looking around. Those look like they may maybe be high school kids.
I'm
But it looks
thinking more
closer to
like
middle
school.
school.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
like middle school kids. I mean, there should be. I mean, for smiling, I mean, this officer has got to be a real small, petty person to do this. Like, I mean, the story is that apparently some of the kids may have been throwing stuff from the bus, but this officer didn't like this kid in the back of the school bus's smile. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that from this experience forward, this individual may not really think too fondly of law enforcement after this.
Now, this happened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I gotta ask, you know, why does it seem that, yes, there are asshole cops everywhere, but you kind of get the beatings kind of happen more towards your larger cities and out west and New York City. But then you get in Pennsylvania, and it's not that they're more beating people, it's more along the lines of they're just straight fuckheads. Like,
I mean, look, every week since the start of this show, I have made sure to find a relevant something that comes out of Pennsylvania to do on this show.
it's not hard to
Because,
find, though, is
I
it?
mean, every week. I mean, dude, I don't even have to look for them. They come across. I mean, I happen to see it, going through my week. Every week there's a story from Pennsylvania. And, that just goes to show you that, this state here is a real authoritarian, when it comes to police. And it's not that the police here have like bigger budgets or whatever, because they don't. They actually seem to be some of the less equipped of the police that I've seen, throughout my travels. But they do seem to be more equipped in the ego department. I don't know what it is. Pennsylvania has really high levels of lead in their water, so maybe that could be one of the triggers. I mean, I'm not from here. No offense to the people that are from here,
None of us.
well, you're still from. No, wait, you're.
No, I'm from the West Coast, man. This is not me.
Yeah, so none of us on this show actually being Pennsylvania natives. This is more of a eye-opening thing for us, because
I think that might be one of the things that sort of, besides some of the stuff that's happened to us in our lives, but just being from other places and seeing how officers act out where we're from, and then moving here and kind of just seeing the bullshit that they're on, it kind of pushed us into wanting to be activists.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it doesn't take anything. That cop that we saw in the video before, I've seen him a few times, and he's aware of who I am by now. But other state police officers that don't know me, they probably know me by now. They come up to me and threaten me and say I'm interfering and all this, and it just seems like they have a problem with being filmed, especially the state police. And I don't see what the problem is. I mean, most any job that you go to work at, you're going to be on camera at some point in the day. So, I mean, their employers probably aren't putting it on YouTube, but I am.
Yeah, but anytime you go to work, I mean, like you said, you're normally on some sort of camera, and I mean, they're supposed to be transparent and everything like that. So why the hell wouldn't they, expect to be on camera? Like, when it comes down to this whole body camera thing, not only do I think that body camera should be, unable to be turned off, but I also think that at the end of their shift, before they're able to leave, that should be uploaded to a public server. People should be allowed to view that when they want to.
Yeah, freely. It shouldn't. You shouldn't have to do a request and then wait 5 days and then have an extension put over for 30 days, and then they deny you, and then you have to go appeal, which takes a while, and then get approved, and then they appeal, which takes another 30 days. I mean, so by the time it's all said and done, you're like 4, 5, 6 months down the road, and it's bullshit. I mean, the whole thing's bullshit. So, I mean, that's basically what you got.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I want that everywhere. Not just Pennsylvania. I think, this we are trying to hold them accountable, but even if we can't get true accountability, I at least would settle for true transparency, because at least at that point, if they're truly transparent, I don't think it would be up to us anymore to try to go after them for being accountable or keeping them accountable, because it would be out there. There's no way to deny the accountability. If they were truly transparent, then the accountability would have to happen.
Yep. And transparency is a word used by government officials, but it's not one that's practiced. It's often preached, and it's often, taunted as this is our platform, transparency, and blah blah blah. But is it really?
I like to call it one of those leisure words that just kind of gets thrown into speeches and sentences just to make it sound better.
Like
But,
freedom?
Yeah, like freedom. Freedom, you know what? That's definitely one of those. Or, one of those cheer words that kind of gets everybody going. Almost like when certain politicians stand up in front of people and decide to say 9/11, it gets people like, ooh, they said 9/11. That means they're serious. It's like, oh, they said transparency. We should listen to them. Like, no, fuck you.
We're gonna release 28 documents from the 9/11 report. Like, okay, those should have been. What about the what about the building? Like the building models, the building models that they did to try to prove that fires brought down World Trade Center 7. But that's a whole other topic.
Absolutely.
We need to do a whole different podcast for that. So.
Yeah, I honestly think that when it comes down to that, I think we could probably do a whole year's worth of podcasts and never even touch the surface of the stuff that really bothers us with 9/11.
But yeah, remember, if you disagree with the official story, you're a baby-hating dog puncher who is reviled by all society and should be shunned forever.
Yeah, basically.
So,
But you know what? 9/11.
9/11. Bush did it. Also, taxation is theft. But
taxation is theft. Did you see Corey and what he did?
Yeah, I've seen.
Bought a $280 ticket to make sure he was live on the Rangers game to be able to be broadcasted in a shirt that said taxation is theft.
Yep,
I got to give him a round of applause for that.
Yeah, he's really proud of that one too.
I would be. I mean, that was
impressive. It was impressive.
I love how the cameraman too just like goes to him and zooms right in like, yo, what's his shirt say? And once he sees it, he's like, I don't know if I should stay on it or get the hell off of him.
Mm-hmm. Like, what does it say? Oh, taxation is theft. Gotcha.
Like, oops.
I mean,
getting political.
Yeah, I think he took the taxation is theft thing and gave it about 20 to 25% more exposure. Yeah, that's cool. This next video I got, actually I'm not even exactly sure where it's from. It says near Durham, North Carolina is where it's been uploaded from, but it may not be the original uploader. It could be a rip. But this is the version that we have. I'll screen share it on over. This is police enter into a family house without a search warrant, and then yell at everybody until they get one, I think is what happens.
No, they never got one.
Oh, so let me go ahead and play this one for you. Now he said he just hit me in the head with a gun. That's some gangster shit. Like, what are you doing? You're in a uniform. And you notice these cops have tasers in hand, and I believe that I read that everybody in the house initially got tasered. And as you can see, even one guy is limping very badly throughout this video. So who knows what happened before the camera started. Also, I do not recommend waving your hands around in the police's face like this guy did. But understandably, he is extremely pissed off. So, yeah. But I don't recommend that.
Be quiet. Everybody be quiet.
Look at this guy.
Be quiet, Jamon. Be quiet. Be quiet. Marshawn, just be quiet. Yeah, you gonna
He said that cop hit him in the leg with a billy club. Gave him one hell of a Charlie horse, I'm guessing.
Yeah. going inside the kids' room with guns in their hands. What
Yeah.
kind of
Kids' rooms with guns drawn. What the hell?
Yeah, this is bothersome.
This is some real scary stuff right here.
Yeah.
I saw that.
This
I
ain't
just
the,
want to point out this can happen to anyone.
Well,
Like,
here's
this
the
ain't, and this
thing.
ain't this ain't the first time. It's happened twice. I think this past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Something like
because
this happened.
I'm sending you over a link, Scott. It's in the chat. It's right over to Rick's Facebook page. He legitimately posted a video 2 days ago where it's a completely different situation, or different people, damn near the same situation.
yeah.
This going on the news. Chill. I put this on the news. Chill. Not chill. Chill. Jamon, be quiet. I'm gonna put this on the news. I'm gonna call Channel 11. Y'all be quiet. Let them go ahead. I didn't say that. I said you said that y'all busting the house, that y'all smell weed. I don't smell no weed. I don't even smell no weed. I don't smell no weed. It could be my incense burning. I'm not even trying to hear that. Wait, show me where the weed at.
And you see how he tried to make her incriminate herself there.
Mm-hmm.
Try to twist the words around.
Now he came downstairs and said everybody's got to be put in handcuffs now.
We didn't find anything. Everybody in handcuffs. Bro, I can hear people getting slapped.
Yeah.
What was that?
I can hear people getting slapped.
Yeah. Oh, body slammed. Taser. I just want to say that cop looks really, really fucking scared. What is he doing being a cop?
Like, he has no idea what he's doing right now from the look of it.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I can't believe this is actually happening. I just heard another taser go off. Oh my god.
Yep. And that's the end of the video.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just tasered the mom there at the end of that video.
Now, over there in the chat, just real quick, we're just going to play a little bit of the other video.
And now this is really scary, man.
Yeah, I saw this one too. Let me,
This happened in Clark County, Washington?
Yep, Clark County, Washington.
Is that upstate Washington or...
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's got a gun on his head.
You see that? They called the cops 2,500 miles away.
Come on. Hey, homeboy. You might want to back off. Are you kidding me? You're holding a gun, finger at the ready. I'm trained. Stop. I'm telling you to stop.
I have a less than a year-old child in my hands.
Please, he's gonna barge in. Look, they're setting up. Oh, please.
No, never. Look at him. Look at that. No, look at that. Come outside.
Look.
Why does he have his gun in his hand?
Did you read what happened? Apparently, somebody else from Kentucky made a phone call and said that he had struck his wife. So here they are, not paying attention to anything that's being said by the people inside the house, including the victim, and refuse to leave. They're being told they do not want them there. They should not enter the home, and especially this officer right here, Officer fucking Blankface, won't listen. Just play a little bit more.
Guys, chill
Look
out.
at this guy.
Stop it. I do not understand anything because what's going on right now is a very escalated situation. Let's de-escalate this.
What we want to do is be able to put your wife by herself,
Right.
make sure everything is okay.
Everything is
And then
okay.
we will leave.
Can you do it from here? Can you do it from a crack in the window?
Huh?
Your body's in my house.
I know it is. I'm gonna come for you.
Very
Until we resolve
disrespectful.
it. I'm going to come in your house unless we can resolve it.
Okay.
And so is everybody else.
Have no
We're
jurisdiction.
giving you the
This is
choice.
I
You
was
can
saying.
step outside and chat with them. Anytime you talk to you.
I mean, you think if there had been some sort of form of domestic violence, don't you think the kids would be crying and, you know, the woman would be asking for them all to come in and snatch this man up? Like,
Yeah.
maybe there'd be a mark on her, you know, I don't know.
I'd be over there trying to close that window.
Oh, don't worry about it. That comes. They try.
But they forcibly go in. Oh my God, this is like
If you
this.
go to probably about 5.5 minutes into the video.
Then open the front door.
This is disgusting.
Then open the front door.
And you hear that this guy is staying very calm with them.
People at the front. You go open the front door.
You guys have me.
Now he's trying to tell him to open the front door so he could jump through the window.
For what? Where's your warrant?
What? Show me the
Where's your
warrant.
warrant?
Show me the
Where's
warrant.
your warrant? Yes, you do. Oh,
Did you hear that?
No, they just said they do not have a warrant. Get out of my house unless you have a warrant right now. Show me the warrant. Show me the warrant. Show me the warrant. Show me the warrant.
Wait,
Show
where's
me
your
the warrant.
warrant? You need
Show me the warrant.
Do not touch my
Show me your warrant. Show me the warrant.
Where's your warrant?
You're not welcome in my house. Show me your warrant.
Show
me your warrant. Everything's okay. Show me the
They'd
warrant.
be like, look, everything's all right. You can see. Go away now.
You don't have to enter a house to see if everything's okay.
You see now they're trying to break in the other side. They're having.
Yeah.
My house is being broken into without a warrant.
Warrant agents without a warrant.
Guys, they're breaking into my house. You're foreign agents. You have no warrant. Stop. Jeez.
Even though he's
We're not
not
coming into
touching
my home.
me.
Please.
I'm inside my home. He has no
Please.
warrant.
Please.
He has no warrant to be
Please.
here, and he's physically
Please,
abusing
you have no warrant. You have no right to be
So,
here.
you're my
You have no
husband.
warrant. You have no jurisdiction to be here. They have a taser. Steph, they're
Are you
threatening
kidding me? You get out!
Stop it.
Do not!
You have no jurisdiction.
Do not!
You have no warrant.
Take my husband without a warrant!
Get out of
Get
here.
out of my house!
Now he's illegally entered the house.
Stop it right now. Stop it. Stop it. Steph, do not be mean. Do not let them pull you here.
You
Stop
just
it.
yanked
It's
my hair
okay.
out of my
Stop
head.
it. Stop it. Steph, please get away from them. Do not. I let go.
I didn't touch anybody!
Please.
I didn't touch anybody!
I know. I understand.
Now you see they're trying to detain her with a child in her hand.
Yeah, they got her arm twisted behind her back already.
Yeah.
Fucking scumbags.
Down. Look, I'm gonna.
Fucking scumbags.
She's trying to put her baby down.
I am not resisting arrest. You have no warrant. Let go.
They snatched the baby out of her fucking hand.
Please, guys, this is my baby.
Just sit down.
You guys, please, this is my baby.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
You have to calm down.
Sit down.
Calm down. God, please help me.
Julia.
God,
Hey, sit down.
God, please help me.
Look, this guy he's really afraid now.
Yeah.
Hey, sit down.
You see that? Now they've taken her down.
And look, the female officer has the baby now. She's walking off with it.
I mean, imagine what the child must be thinking, you know? These strange people just snatched me away from my mom for what reason? Like,
And slammed my mom to the ground. My mom's screaming. My dad doesn't know what is trying to calm everybody down, and they're just violently entering into the home. I mean, this is a fearful situation. I don't care if there's a child involved or not. If this happens at my house, I'm going to be afraid.
and just my question is, what are they helping? Because I don't see anything being helped. I just see a bunch of fucking people that are gung-ho on fucking, on you know,
Breaking into a house.
doing what they say that they're going to do. And it's, I mean, it's kind of a long video.
Yeah, it's
I'll skip forward.
I don't know what you're gonna do. Look at what you did. Look at what you did. Look at what you've done. This is on me.
you
So
hear
the guy-
that?
Yeah,
It's on you. You're the one not taking care of your family. It's like, no, you're the ones who just broke into their house and roughed up his wife and stole his child.
Call yourself a man.
Oh,
scumbag department.
he just said to the cop, he said, "You call yourself a man?" Like, oh,
It's true.
yeah.
Hey, Bunny, if you know where that video is for their testimonial, can you throw it up in the Q&A so we could take a look at that? Because we haven't seen it. Because currently it says that they're fighting to get their children back. They just did a testimonial video about the aftermath of this video. Also, the latest info I have is that charges have been dropped against one of them. Yeah, it's
These
it's
people,
horrible.
these police officers need to be put in jail for what they just did.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
broke into their home,
That's
had no warrant.
Threatened them with being tased, snatched their kid, assaulted them.
Oh, there's the link, Matt.
Yep, copying it and throwing it in the chat.
I mean, that's a clear-cut violation of Article 18, Section 241,
Absolutely.
United States Code.
But they don't give a fuck.
Alright, so is this the latest?
Yeah, that's just their testimonial video about the aftermath of what has happened.
Alright. Let's get it going.
The day that this all occurred, February 16th, 2000.
This is a pretty long video itself.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'll go ahead, guys, and I'll put that in our post show notes, a link to this article. And you can check that out on your own time. Unfortunately, we don't even have 26 minutes left of the episode to be able to even go through that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ground. Yeah, we got a lot of ground to cover, and
Scott, you're still screen sharing.
Oh, yeah, you guys. That's all the ground that we have to cover, you guys.
Yeah. So yeah. Before we jump into anything else, Scott, Rick, why don't you tell us about what's going on with you and Wednesday? What are you doing down?
Well, I'm gonna take a trip to Philly and check out the 420 event over there in Philly on Wednesday. And I'm gonna do some filming and see if I can interview some police officers. We had a new law pass. Marijuana has been approved and legal now.
Well,
medical
marijuana,
and not actually
been
marijuana.
passed.
It's not actually marijuana. It's
cannabis
oils and
yeah.
ointments, and it's kind of a bullshit move, but I mean it's a step. So
it's a step, absolutely. Which is another reason why, as you can see, I am rocking this week a green beard. It is for the celebration of the fact that not only this week is 420 week, so everybody get out there and celebrate if you do, but also for the passing of medical marijuana, for the fact that especially my fiance and plenty of people I know in my life will be greatly helped by the fact that this law has passed. So it's still going to be about 18 to 24 months before everything is all set up and ready to go, but the fact that it was signed is still a really good step forward, because without medical being signed, you don't see states turning around and
going
taking
for recreational, yeah.
Exactly. So it's a baby step, but I watched What About Bob. Every little baby step gets you closer to that final goal. So
yeah,
what it is. So Captain Greenbeard is here for the week, and I don't know. I'm kind of liking the green beard. It looks really awesome on this camera.
Yeah, I guess.
Go to hell, Scott. So why don't we move on to our next story?
All right.
What do we have here?
Our next story. Did you want to talk about your latest story that you did for the NPR thing, or do we want to talk about John Gear?
Why don't we talk about John Gear?
All right.
That NPR story, it was really quick. It was based. I'll throw it up in the post notes anyways, but it was. I'll just give a quick rundown of it. It was basically asking how effective are cops really, with the fact that they're looking at major crimes and how what the actual rate of closing a case with a conviction is, and it's a pretty shocking number, and not in a way that you would expect it to be. In fact, more than 58% of most major crimes go unsolved. So it's really questioning how effective are cops, and are they really there to solve crimes, or are they there, to generate revenue? And now it really doesn't go into that aspect of it, but honestly, I think that's what the article, at least personally for me, leaves you to believe, or to question for yourself. Are they effective in the job that they do, or are they just there as another cog to make money for the system?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, there's a couple videos with this. There's one video that was put out by the Fairfax County Police Department. That's Fairfax County, Virginia. I kind of want to highlight this because I have kind of a problem with the wording that they used for this. Basically, this is a brief description of what happened, but it's some of the words I'm not too fond of. On August 2013, Fairfax County police officers, including Rodney M. Barnes and Adam D. Torres, responded to a domestic dispute call in Springfield, Virginia. The townhouse resident John B. Gear was shot by Officer Torres after a 42-minute showdown. This now it says showdown.
How do you have a showdown when you're unarmed?
Yeah, that's a particularly troubling word for me because
I mean, is it a stare-off? I mean, would that be a better way to put it?
Basically, they had been talking for a while, and he's I'm thinking this is his front door right here, but he had a screen door, and he had his hands up. Let me go ahead and stop the screen share for a second so I can show you. He had his hands up, resting on the top of the screen, like most of the time that he was talking, had his hands up over like that. And any time that, and they were talking, I guess it was kind of like a standoff situation, but not really. He was standing in his house saying, "I'm not letting you in. This is ridiculous." And they were kind of just, talking. And he's standing there with his hands up and his hands on the screen. And every time he goes to scratch his nose, he says, "Hey, I'm going to scratch my nose." Takes his hand down, And at one point he does this, takes his hand down, and Officer Adam Torres opens fire and shoots him a bunch of times, and John falls into his house, shutting the door in front of him as he falls in the house. And then they basically stood outside for a while he died on the floor. So it's kind of like it's a rough story, and I think it's kind of really disrespectful that they choose to use the word showdown here when it's clearly was not a showdown. But this goes into a little statement from the department and stuff. But anyways, he's been fired, he's been indicted, and he's going to go to trial.
Screen share, Scott. Screen share.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want anybody to get shot. He said, and I don't want to get shot because I don't want to die today. That's exactly what he said. But I didn't see what he saw, what he thought he saw, or whatever. I don't know if his hand was fingers on the trigger. I don't know.
That was one cop.
His hands down in a quick motion towards his waist, and I fired a shot right through the screen door and hit him. I meant to pull it. I meant to pull that trigger. It just kind of. Just a reaction of mine.
Wait, time out. I'm sorry, but do you hear that? He's like, I meant to pull the trigger, it's just a reaction of mine. Now when somebody says it's just a reaction of mine, I think, if you say something like, "Oh, I love anchovies on pizza," and somebody goes, "Ugh." No, that's a reaction. You can say, "Yeah, well, that's a reaction of mine. When it's something disgusting, I make that face."
Yeah, well, he said the word reaction as to kind of make it seem like it was somewhat involuntary, but then he turns on and says that he meant to do it. Now, this is right after, I don't know if you guys heard, but the other officer
says he doesn't see it.
Yeah, he says.
But I didn't see what he saw, what he thought he saw, or whatever.
What he thought he saw, whatever. I didn't see it.
Yeah, the other cop was saying, "I don't know why he shot him,"
But to go back to what I was saying before we jump back into and continue to play this, to say something like, "Oh, it was just a reaction of mine," that makes it seem like, oh, well, yeah, it's just my reaction to shoot first and then think about it later. It's just my reaction. That's just what I do. I just shoot people. That's what I do. Like that's how I interpret that. If it's it's just a reaction of mine. It's just like, oh, so it's just a reaction of you to just shoot people because you.
Here's the rest.
Anything else?
Just telling Ronnie, I said that I hope the guy comes out.
Why so you can shoot him again? Like.
So when you're saying I can't believe I just shot him, it's just because you haven't shot someone before.
It might have been. I
guess my point, just to cut to the chase, is I want to make sure that it's not an accidental sort of thing.
It's not accidental.
Okay.
No, it was justified. I have no doubt about that.
You don't get to make the decision if it was justified, especially with officers standing next to you saying it's the shit you saw.
The guy at all.
And then there he is at the end. I don't feel sorry for shooting the guy at all. Those was his last words there in the video. I don't.
So basically, what it sounded like is that his partner didn't see jack shit of what he saw. He wanted to get his cherry wet, pop his cherry and and shoot his first suspect. And then he's like, yeah, you know what? That's what I do. I don't feel bad.
And
really gonna get his cherry wet now that he's going to prison.
And here, this is a picture. This is a picture of John Gear. I've been following this case for the last couple months now, and this is John Gear's best friend said, just want everybody to remember that he was a good guy, and with the outpouring of people on, especially there was this one Facebook group called Justice for John Gear, and the individuals in there, they were really dedicated to this case, and they worked really, really, really hard to get this result, to get this far. So I just want to point off, get hats off to you guys. I don't actually remember your names right now, and I'm sorry, but doubt that you'll ever see this, but hats off to you guys. And
now I wanna comment on what Bunny's saying here. He said this isn't a war zone. Reaction shootings leads to needless deaths unless you are surrounded, and even then you risk shooting someone not involved. I agree. That reaction shootings is not only what gets innocent people involved, but that's how you guys shoot each other. Because they shoot. That's a stat that really doesn't come out all too much because it's an embarrassing stat, but they do shoot each other quite often. And it's because of these reaction shootings.
I wanted to say the first couple months, 2016, wasn't there?
It's happened not too long ago.
Well, I want to say within the first couple months of 2016, there were actually more officers shot by each other than anybody else.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's fucking Three Stooges, Bush League,
Don't worry though, when they turn around and decide to start putting up the stats of how many officers were shot because there's this war on cops, they'll make sure to throw those guys in there too, and just put them in there generically as just a number and not put any story behind it saying, oh yeah, well 11 of them were shot by us because we're idiots.
Yeah, they don't like to include that part.
Nope.
But Officer Down, was it officerdown.com or .org or something? They pretty much have to admit it or lose credibility. So.
Yep. So that leads us in actually to the plea deal for Adam Torres. Yeah.
Yep. There was a there was a plea deal. And
so basically, this story originated in 2013, and John Greer, he stood in his own doorway and everything, as we've heard, and everything we heard the testimony of Torres, at least his statement of what happened, and the fact that he shows zero fucking remorse about the whole thing. So, on January 5th of last year, The Fairfax County officials finally released Torres' name to the public, letting them know who was the shooter. And then uh, Adam Torres was not charged with second-degree murder until August 17th, 2015, almost 2 years after he killed John. So, thanks to this plea deal, though, Torres will almost certainly be home to enjoying his freedom and loved ones when John Greer's family makes the third anniversary of their loss of John in August. So, he was sentenced. The plea deal gives him involuntary manslaughter, and his sentence was 12 months. He spent 8 months in Torres spent 8 months in county lockup, and has been held without bond since the day he was charged. So basically, they're like, "Oh, you kill somebody, it's a year." But anybody else gets involuntary manslaughter, they're looking at least 5.
Oh
At
yeah.
least. At least.
Yeah, but that blue privilege, you know.
It's really
Just like Bernie said, we got a broken justice system.
Yeah.
Really broken.
Yeah. Well, I think that leads us into the last little bit of our show here.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe the show's already at this point. That was a fast show, guys.
Yeah, lots of videos tonight.
Yeah.
But first off, I want to say just want to mention our buddy Dio.
Hey,
Dio's.
don't we have something to give to Dio today?
You know what? We almost forgot. It's the we have another award as part of our weekly awards tradition. This week we nominate and award Dio with the Trials and Tribulations Award. He went to his trial and now he is doing his tribulations. I don't know if you can have tribulations without trials, but those two always seem to come together. That's not an original, by the way. I definitely stole that from a stand-up comedian. But I don't think you can have tribulations without trials. But yeah, our buddy Dio. I like to mention him every show. Also, head over. We have the copblock.org/store. Copblock.org store. You can get shiny hats or shiny badges, lapel pins, hats. You can get. I think they have pajama pants, hoodies, shirts, all kinds of goodies. Flyers. You can donate to copblock.org. Just head over to the store. They got lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, for all your live streaming needs, if you would like, you could head over to the App Store or Play Store and download Cell 411. They are definitely starting to get their act together over there, and just released a new update that is helping everybody out and making sure that their streaming capabilities are far better than what they were at one point. We were running into a few issues with us trying to use them ourselves, but luckily this update came out and made it a little bit better. Also, I want you guys to tune in on Wednesday to Cop Block Radio. It's going to be a special event this week. You're going to have myself, you're going to have Scott Marshall, so we can see him again. We're going to have J.P. Freeman of New Hampshire Regional Cop Block. We're going to be live on LRN.FM, or you can check us out on copblock.org/show.
Yep. That Wednesday show is a great program, and I definitely recommend everybody checking that out.
Absolutely, it's going to be a fun one this week, for sure. Yeah,
yep.
we always have a lot of fun when it's you, me, and JP. So
yep.
You guys should check in, check it out.
And do we have any more plugs tonight?
Absolutely, we got Mr. Rick Gonzalez over there. Rick, why don't you tell us about yourself? Rick's on mute.
Hey, can you hear me now?
All right. Absolutely.
Well, I got an event coming up, a meetup for all the advocates and cop blockers to get together on June 2nd, and it will be like a 4-day event. Whenever you guys will be good to show up and do some protesting and maybe some chalking. I don't know. Just go out to exercise and educate people's rights, hand out flyers. stuff
Get-
like that.
Get some cop
Try to
block
get
in, absolutely.
go out there and spread the message. That badges don't grant extra rights, and that's will be on June 2nd this year. And yeah, get your gear right now before June 2nd if you're coming out. That will be in Allentown, Pennsylvania. That event.
Awesome. And if you guys want to let us know that you're coming, go ahead and go to Allentown Cop Block on Facebook and go to their events, and you can check everything out and say that you're coming.
Yep.
All right. And I had one person say that how can they get involved? Well, it's a decentralized organization. There's no leader. There's no, this is a volunteer thing, and whenever you have the time to come out, you're more than welcome.
Yep. Step 1, learn your rights. Step 2, pick up a camera, go exercise them.
Step 3, revert back to step 1 and 2.
Yep. Repeat as necessary.
Absolutely. So, as every week, I am Matt Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
I am Scott Marshall of the Oath Accountability Project.
Rick Gonzalez from Allentown Cop Block.
And this has been Cop Blast Podcast. We can't wait to see you guys next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe all of us on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to this show so you get the notification that you can watch us live. See you next week, guys.